Welcome, welcome to Gimme the Mic. We are so happy to have you again today. And today is Super Bowl Sunday, and I don't know if we're going to have many guests today, but those who have joined, we thank you for coming. You know, Gimme the Mic is about giving that motivation, that inspiration, and that cultivation for you to reach your highest potential. And we have a great show for you, and we hope you stay with us to the end because you are definitely going to be motivated and inspired. Now, we're going to be speaking about you reap what you sow. So, I'm going to give the mic to none other than Zachary Mitchum from What Jesus Say, and let's see what Jesus has to say about you reap what you sow.
Hey, 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 and praise God for this glorious day. Look, listen, it's very simple. If you go to the book of Galatians, the 5th chapter, it talks to you about the spirit and the flesh, right? And the Lord tells you in Galatians 5:7, He says, be not deceived. Don't be deceived. Don't fool yourself. God is not mocked. But whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap. So if you sow to corruption, you reap death and destruction. But if you sow to the spirit, you'll reap life and life everlasting. So to break that down very simply, he gives you an enumeration from 17th verse on to the 23rd verse that telling you what are the lusts of the flesh, the lust of the eye, the prize of life, right? And he enumerates that. He talks about fornication, adultery, variance, lasciviousness, and all those type things. But then he comes back in the 22nd verse and he gives you also the 21st verse what the fruits of the spirit are: love, peace, long suffering, of which there is no limit. You can have as much as that as you want. So it's not so much that you have life and life everlasting, but you have positivity. All of that comes back. If just like David behaved himself wisely when he was serving Saul and he was exalted, he said he resists the proud and give grace to the humble. So you wait for your turn and you graciously support and give, and God blows your socks off, like He told you in Deuteronomy 1:11. That's 1,000 times, right? Elijah gave a double mantle, a double. He received double for his trouble for serving Elijah, right? And so that's where I want to be. God Himself even said, I didn't come to be served. I came to be a servant of all, right? So that's what we're looking at tonight. When you sow those positive seeds and that positivity, it's gonna come back, pressed down, shaken together, running over, and you can take that to the bank. You understand? So all you have to do is trust and believe, just like my mother said, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, lean not unto thy own understanding, all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He'll direct your path. Be not wise in your own mind, but depart from evil and fear the Lord. And she also said that when she didn't know what else to say. So so I'm gonna turn the mic back over to my sister. This is gonna be an exciting broadcast. I'm looking for some nuggets to put in my belt,
All
and
right.
she brings these high end, people, man, and I learn from them too. So
I
I'm
know.
expecting great things in this broadcast tonight.
Thank you, brother. You know, God sends us the best guests ever. And I
Amen.
am so excited about our guest, but I'm not going to spill it yet. I want you all to see this commercial, and then we're going to come back. And the next person you will see is our special guest, a great surprise. I am so happy to have her.
I'm Sylvester Bailey. I'm the CEO of All Up Salons and Stores. We've been a leader in the multicultural salon space for about 37 years in the area. When you come to have an All Up experience, you're gonna first feel like family. The guest experience is the most important experience. So we constantly are looking at ways to give back to the guests and create value for our guests, and just investing in anything that enhances their experience is our strategy.
Mostly today, everything is technology. So you have to be on point when it comes to technology. And the mobile app, I think, is the best thing that we have working for the company. It helps a lot of clients to be able to book their appointments where they weren't before. They didn't have the opportunity to do it. Now that they get to know, oh, I can book my appointment at, it could be at 12 o'clock at night, and then they see there's availability at 11 o'clock in the morning for a service, knowing that they can do that instead of wait for somebody to be in the office.
I really am thankful for having a system like Zenoti. From the client being able to come in, check in seamlessly, sit in the chair, get their service started, be able to pay for their ticket, tip their ticket, and rebook their appointment takes away so many man hours that I would have had to put in prior to having that. They're amazed. They're wow, a salon has an app? So it really makes us on an innovative level as an overall salon and the services we offer.
We've been constantly looking for something that's going to separate us from our multicultural competition. And we found that our membership model, which is our Texture Club experience, is something that's very special. It gives customers an opportunity to get an experience that's reproducible, affordable, luxury, and we can deploy it seamlessly with technology. We're constantly adding and removing features to it to make it better. And with Zenoti, that's one of the features that we love, is that it's not just one size fits all.
Zenoti University has a lot of tools and resources to help our company be more successful. I believe that it's always good that you get more training. As stylists, every 6 months the industry changes. So basically, just like technology, it's the same way. The goal is if we can help a lot of other people to become great, we all can be great.
Being able to monitor the scheduling from my actual station with my phone allows me to multitask, where I can work on my client. If a client comes in and maybe my front desk receptionist is not available, I can actually take a look and see things, add them on from ticket from my phone while I'm still working and engaging with my client that may be in my chair. This allows them to be able to schedule themselves accordingly to what they currently have live on their appointment book. They also receive notifications when clients have gotten to the salon, so they know to come out. Now it's seamless. The client walks up to the door, it automatically checks them in. The stylist is aware of it. They come to the front, they're able to greet the client as they're coming into the salon.
So when you give the client that great experience and then be able to show them how to book their appointment and cash out from the chair, knowing that we are on the wave of what Zenoti is teaching, it's just going to elevate us to become great.
Zenoti makes my life easier because, again, it gives us the technology that we need to build and grow and sustain growth. And it also gives us the technology to communicate at a level we would have never been able to communicate before.
I just can't go back. Once you've had this experience, you can't go back, because now you've changed what your standard of the work environment is like. It would make it very stressful if we were to divert back to our previous system. It would affect the stylist, it would affect the client's experience when they come in. I don't think we would be able to ever operate the same, ever.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, the person we're going to meet today was part of the foundation of this company. And because of her, that's the foundation of where we are today. And I want to give credit to her because she was one of the best professional cosmetologist, master stylist, whatever you want to call it. She don't want to have all these titles, but she has been a vital part to the growth of all dolled up salons and stores. And I am so grateful that she took the time out to be with us. No matter how big she has gotten and how busy she is, she did not think it was robbery to come back to little old all dolled up and share her journey with us. So I want to welcome to the stage none other than Levora Gayuka Ross. Give it up.
Hey,
Oh, Levora, thank you so much for taking the invitation.
you're so welcome. And let me first say that there's nothing small or little about All Dolled Up. Okay?
Well,
Not
we're
at all.
good. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I am so glad to have you, and I want to get started with this conversation because you have so much to talk about. But you can be such an inspiration to so many eras in as far as life because you're young, but you have gone through so much, and I love your story. So I just want to go back when you was in New York and you was that young girl that had Imani, who is my godchild. And tell us about how did you get through that? Speak to those young girls who you had dreams. You had dreams and you didn't feel like it was reachable for the choices that you made and where you were. So speak to those girls.
Well, I have to say, I was always very determined. Yes, I had Imani, my firstborn child. At I was a senior in high school. I was 17 years old. Um, when I graduated, I had a scholarship for engineering, but I always loved doing hair. I was doing hair from like 11 years old, middle school, then into high school, did some teacher's hair, then it just cultivated into me literally doing people's hair all the time. I did not want to waste my scholarship, so I still went to school and pursued that. But in my heart of our hearts, I knew that I want to do hair. I love the way it makes people feel. To me, your clothes don't even look right when your hair is not done. Like, so I don't even like trying clothes on at the mall if up here, because then you got to be like, let me see what I'm gonna look. Let me try to imagine. I just love the way people feel. I love the connection from client to cosmetologist. It's an unmatched career for me. To me,
Amen.
so pretty much big shout out to Rochester Educational Opportunity Center because that's where it started. There's
Awesome.
yes, REOC. I'm from Rochester, New York, and they had a program there at Rochester Educational Opportunity Center where it has a lot of career choice uh, programs. So cosmetology was one of them. You can become a nail tech, a barber, a automotive. They had all types of things like that where you can go to the school and it was free. You have to um, pass the requirements for it. Because I was a young mother, I qualified for the program.
All
So
right.
that's how I got in. Also, low income, anything like that. If you were a foster child in the past, like anything like that will qualify you for this program.
All
So
right.
I went to cosmetology school for free. Didn't
Wow.
cost a
You
dime.
was favored back then.
Favored. In my cosmetology teacher, I still speak with him to this day. His name is
Wow.
Mr. Perkins.
Wow.
The program is still very active. I probably would go there because he's been asking me to come and speak
You
to the
should.
people there too, and I definitely will make room for that one day. But yes, I went there, graduated successfully. Me and one of my friends, Nikki Holloway, we went to school together. We're still friends together to this day.
See, you're a
Full
friend
circle.
fella.
That we're both now in the union for
Wow.
film and television
Oh,
as
wow.
hairstylists.
That's one thing I love about you, Levora, is when you are someone's friend, you are their friend.
Yes,
You hear me?
yes,
You are a friend to a friend.
yes.
I love that about you. And so once you finish cosmetology school and you start to work as a cosmetologist, what made you and you were very successful in it because I mean you were one of the top stylists, you were in hair magazines and all that. What made you want to do movies and TV?
Well, I didn't really know that I wanted to do it.
You
To
did?
be honest with you, at first, no, I did not. My dear Aunt B, who's passed away, when I was working at All Dolled Up, she said, you are doing so well here. She said, but I see you doing hair for the stars and celebrities and on film and like on movies and things
And
like
look
that.
at it.
And I was like, Auntie, I don't even know. I said,
You
okay,
prophesied
if
that.
you see it, I just don't know how to even begin with that. But when I was in Florida, I used to do a lot of videos,
Right.
music videos, hair for music videos, but
Right.
not film. But I would do magazines, editorial, and music videos pretty much.
Wow.
So it wasn't until I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. My same friend that I went to cosmetology school with at REOC,
Uh-huh.
she said, "Sis, there's a union for film and television artists," and I'm like, "What?"
798.
For hairstylists, yep, called the Local 798. And I
Yeah,
said, "What?" And she said, "Yeah, you can get in the union and you do hair for film and television." I said, "It can't be that easy, you know."
it's
And she
that
was
easy.
like, "No, but I'm finding it out. As soon as I find out, I'm going to let you know." So when I moved to Atlanta, she had to go and do film with Roger Bob, which was once working for Tyler Perry. Then he
Uh-huh.
branched off and got his own production company.
Okay.
Um, she wanted me to take over doing being the lead hairstylist for Gospel Music Channel. So that's how it started for me. Me getting
Oh,
my first foot in and knowing how to work on set and, deal with people
wow.
and get them groomed to be on film.
All
That's where it
right.
started. Hmm.
Wow, I never knew that. I
Yep.
never knew that.
Where
I
it
just
started.
thought that was a big passion you wanted to do, but Aunt B
Yep.
prophesied it.
My aunt prophet.
She always could see beyond, don't sleep on Aunt B.
No.
Rest her soul. I miss her so much. And so once you became in I had a bad experience with being in the union, and I never went back. I don't want to tell that story. I don't know if it was you I took with me, but I took somebody with me, and they had me set up to do this set in Miami. Was did you go with me?
I don't think so.
Oh God! And when I got there, everybody was naked. I say, you can you imagine what I was doing, Lavon? I say, no, take me home. I'm ready to leave. I do not want to do it. It was a Playboy set for the Playboy magazine. And I said, why did you all book me for something like this? And you know what? It was nothing but God. Because I insist to leave and they took me home.
Mhm.
And on the next day, they had a article. Well, they had it on the news. The whole place was shot up. The
Wow.
whole place was shot up. They had drugs. They had all kinds of stuff going on in this big mansion.
Wow.
But what profits a man to gain the whole world and loses his soul? They were gonna pay me some big money.
I'm sure.
I did not care. And
Yeah.
see how God will lead you. And I like that about you, Levora.
Mhm.
You have always stayed humble and grounded. And
Yeah.
I give that attribute to grandma. I
Yes.
want everybody to see grandma because it's your grandma, but she's my grandma too. She has been such an inspiration to everyone she comes in contact with. And there she is.
There's
There
my
is
grandma.
grandma. Grandma would come, and you remember when she come to you do her hair, what would she do for us?
Pray.
Pray. That's
She
why we're
praying for
still open today. This woman right here, and she loved Levora
us.
so much. She spoke over your life as well, Levora,
Oh, she speaks to this day.
to
She's
this
very
day,
current.
over
Yeah,
your
she
life. And
she's
that's
sharp,
where, yeah. Go ahead. You want to talk about grandma?
of course.
Tell us something about grandma.
Grandma is definitely inspiring for me. She is definitely when they say I have a praying grandmother,
That's
that's my
right.
girl. Everybody knows that. I share her with plenty of people.
You have
Um,
to.
I tend to believe that I'm her favorite, but she just told me the other day she has 141 grandchildren. So
What?
that's great grands, and great
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 grands
grands.
combined.
What?
Yeah, so fruitful and multiply my family, we have took it above and
Oh
beyond.
my
But
God.
my grandmother, she is definitely the matriarch of our family. She definitely we talk every week. I talk to her. She's really my best friend.
I
Like for
know.
real.
I know. She
90,
has
98 years old, 98 years old, but she's so sharp
yes, she
and her
is.
mind is still great. And
Yes.
she definitely calls me and checks on me, prays for me and my
Oh
family.
yeah.
And I know, like, just the things that she said. It was during the pandemic. She spoke something over me, and it has been happening.
Don't you start crying now.
I'm trying not to.
Okay, because you know you're a bucket of water.
Ooh, yes,
Now
goodness.
listen, I want you to talk to the women out there that have husbands, children. How do you manage being such a successful, don't let young lady doing so many things? Because just being a mother is a lot of work,
It
and
is.
being a wife, a young
Yes,
wife.
yes.
So, how do you balance your life, Levora, to do
Well,
what you do?
well, I have to say that I have a tribe that is like no other. My mother, for sure,
Oh
is
wow,
like
Shawnee, she's there for you. She's
my
always at
mother is my ride or die.
yes,
She is gonna have my back. I might get some fussing about it, but
yes,
she's gonna do it. She's going to support, and she has been a big support for me and my family and my tribe and my
that,
children. My
yes.
husband Richard
There she
definitely,
is.
yeah, there she is.
She's
Um,
always been there.
yes, it has Richard, my husband, my children too are helpful. Courtney, being a teenager in the house, helps out when mom has to work these strange hours.
Strange hours. Oh
Right,
my
they're all over
goodness.
the place.
Yeah.
It just works. Like our family has never really been like the one to be like, oh, the kids got to be in bed by 7:30 or 8. Dinner's by. We don't have those orthodox
Oh, I hear you.
time
You
frames.
can't.
We
You
are.
can't
It just
because
works. It just works.
yes.
It just works, and I'm thankful. I'm grateful. We also had a Miss Helen, which is like a second mom to me. She watched my last child, Yomi, from when she was 2 months old up until she just moved recently to
Well,
Delaware to go be with her kids. So
oh wow.
having her leave was hard to watch
I
and
know when
enjoy.
you
But
have
I
a
said, ooh,
yeah,
I
when
said,
you
Lord, cover us, because Miss Helen was the back. She
the
wasn't the backup. She was the up. She was like, she gonna get those kids from school, bring them home, wait for me or Rich to get home, and then we go. Like it does a lot when you have a trusted source of people and network of people who you can rely on and depend on, and you don't have to worry that
right.
they're gonna mistreat your kids in your absence. So
Exactly.
I
But
have
you
truly
got
been
to
blessed.
have a team. You have to
I
have
got
a
a
strong
team.
support system to be successful in this industry. And I try to tell the stylists today, they don't understand everything has to be strategic. It's
Yes.
nothing going to be normal. I remember Mr. Bailey telling little Bailey, say, your mama need a regular job, a 9 to 5. And forever he used to say, why don't you get a regular job? We never know when we're gonna be here, there, what time we're gonna get off,
Mm-hmm.
what time we're gonna have to go. So I
Yep.
commend you that you're still together, you all working together as a team and
Yeah.
everything coming together. And I am so proud of you getting an Emmy. Aren't
Well,
you proud when you
nominated.
got that? Huh?
Nominated for an Emmy. Didn't get it.
Oh, but you got nominated. I don't
Nominated.
care. I just
Yes.
love to see your name
Yes.
on the stars.
Yeah.
So how did that feel, Levora?
Oh my God, that was on July 13th. I will never forget the day that I got the call from my department head, Arlene Martin, my dear sister in this industry. She was the department head for the show P Valley that we got nominated for an Emmy for Outstanding Contemporary Hair. So this was last year, July 13th, where literally I'm in prep for House of Pain at Tyler Perry Studios,
Uh-huh.
prepping the same day. So she called me. She was like, sis, are you sitting down? I said, no, I'm actually up prepping a wig. What's going on? She was like, girl, we got nominated for an Emmy. And I started screaming and took off running up and down the salon. And then everybody was like, what is wrong with you? I was like, girl, nothing wrong. I got nominated for an Emmy. So everybody said, exciting.
That's a
And
high
then
achievement.
that same day, so I'm up here. I'm up
Uh-huh.
here. Where's
Uh-huh.
my hair? Up here.
Right, right.
The same day
What
we
happened?
got the strike happen. Boom.
Oh my God.
And I said, what? So it went from a high to a what is going on?
Oh my goodness. But God
And
brought you through it.
oh God, but it was nothing but God. Nothing
That's
but
a
God.
whole nother
So
broadcast.
if anybody even questions who he is, if you want to call him the universe or whatever, it's God. And it was nothing but God because my husband is also in the
The
film
industry.
industry. So when the strike happened, it affected my household
Yes, it did.
completely. It completely shut us down.
Prayer did it.
So when I tell you, like, covering means a lot. When you have people that pray for you, it means a lot. But the reap what you sow, for me,
That's what all
I've
of it.
sown so many seeds
Yep. And you reaped them.
from a young age, from a very young age.
Yeah.
And my cousins were just jokingly telling my husband stories about Lavora been a mama since she was 14.
Yeah.
And-
That is so
because
true.
I always mothering people, always caring, always cooking and feeding and letting people live with me, like all types of things. But my whole family is like this. It's not
That's
just
where
me.
you got it
I
from.
get it honest, but I'm constantly a giver. My heart is truly good.
Yeah.
I don't talk about it. I
Yeah.
be about it. So
That's
my
right.
my
That's
thing is, the
right.
proof is in who I am. The proof is in the blessings that are bestowed upon me. Like,
Yeah.
because I don't worry anymore. God took worry out of my life a long time ago.
Hallelujah.
So when the strike happened, I was just in shock. And I was like, wait a minute, Lord. Now, me and Rich both in this industry. I sold my salon
Now you
December
gotta
of
come through.
2022.
Yeah. But you
And
let
immediately, it's a handful of clients that I still service. That I didn't mind coming to my house. I was doing their hair. I was getting booked for weddings, getting booked for video shoots, for
God
photo
did it.
shoots, all types of things. And because we were both in a union, our unions gave grants.
Hallelujah.
But the big testimony that I wanted to share on this podcast with everybody was my husband and I. We got married on October 15th of 2022.
Hmm.
We moved into this home that we now own. We
Beautiful.
lease purchased it. So first we got in at August 15th, literally 2 months before we got married. So our plan was to buy it back within a year so it won't be too hot. So we're on the way. We saving money, we stacking money. I'm like, oh yes, we're gonna get it. And my husband's a veteran, so we have a VA loan we could get.
Uh-huh.
So with a VA loan, you don't put a down payment, you just do closing costs.
Uh-huh.
So this is a $547,000 home. Okay,
It's beautiful.
it's beautiful, and it probably in Florida be a whole lot more than that.
Million.
But
Million, twice a million.
the it's worth 605.
Amen.
So we were like, we don't want to move nowhere else. This works. Our kids don't have to move, leave school. So our plan was buy the house back within a year after the wedding. We got to replenish our money from after the wedding, all the stuff. We had a plan,
But God said,
but that strike said, here come the challenge. So, we're now taking the money that was set aside for a closing cost, and we're still paying the lease on the house. We got our pre-approval for the house, like literally 2 weeks before the strike happened.
oh, wow.
So, but when the strike happened, there's not going to be no more income. And if I've been through the process of buying a house before, then anybody knows you have to keep showing. They want to keep
Proof
pulling
of
your
income.
bank statements. They want to keep pulling your income. They want you to keep proving stuff up until the day pretty much that you close. So I was like, Lord, I don't know. So
God
my
did it.
husband had filed for unemployment. I filed for unemployment like the day we found out about the strike. But we all know unemployment here is 365 a week.
Oh, Jesus.
It costs over $5,000 a month to operate my home. Over
Jesus.
5,000. I ain't even gonna get the exact number to operate my home. That's mortgage, bills,
Yeah.
light, children, groceries, gas, car insurance, this, that, right?
We
And
know.
here it is. We needed first they told us we needed $22,000 to close. To show that amount. 26,000. I'm sorry, to show $26,000 to close. But
Yes.
of that, we were only going to probably need like 20. But they want to see 26.
Amen.
We had it, but we also paying all this stuff as we're waiting to close with no more income coming in. My
Only
husband
God.
got unemployment, but he has child support. So child support coming out of his unemployment. So you talking about
Oh,
$150 a
Rob,
week
this,
coming from him. They denied my unemployment.
my
I
God.
don't know how they did that or why. I was furious. I said, all right, Lord, now here go another challenge. At least we could have kept adding to what we're getting. The grant money was coming in, so we're still replenishing. And we know this woman right here, I know how to make money stretch. I
Yes,
know
yes,
how to
yes.
put
I know
things
that.
where they're supposed to go in a household. I can manage some money. So I was like, all right, Lord. Now they did deny me unemployment. There's no way they should have because I'm unemployed, but
Uh-huh.
they did. To fasten the story, um, September 22nd, we closed on our home.
Hallelujah.
During the strike,
During the strike.
during the strike.
That's how God likes to show
So
out.
from July, let me see, August, September. It was 2 months after the strike started that we closed on the strike with no income.
God wanted you to see that He has all power.
But in the midst of that, guess what happened? I got called from a movie that I was doing before the strike happened to come in to do 6 or 7 days worth of work. But that in our industry is a good amount of money still. So
Uh-huh.
I was able to get another check that said I was employed, and I was able to give that to the closing people, like, because they were still asking for an income.
Only God.
Oh my God. And
You
so for
reap what you sow,
you reap
labor.
what you sow. You reap what you
Tell
sow.
them, tell them.
And when 4 days after we closed on the house, I got approved for unemployment. And I was just like,
God
what?
didn't want you
Like,
to give them no glory.
so what happened was God told me, like, it was just so plain. He was like, if you would have showed, because with a VA loan, they want you to do, you have to write descriptions on why certain things are like this in your bank statement. So they saw unemployment going into Richard's bank account. And
Yeah,
they were like, why is he getting money from Department of Labor? And I was like, because when you're in a union, in between gigs, you can file unemployment
right,
in
right,
between shows, right?
right.
They didn't want to really bring up the strike situation. Um, so God told me after we closed, if you would have had the money from unemployment coming in your account too, y'all would not have been qualified for that house.
Jesus. God, see, we need to sit back and let God. Sit
Let
back
him
and
work.
let God.
Let him work. Let him work. And so all I said, I just literally dropped to my knees and I started crying, tears of joy, of course,
Yeah,
and tears of gratitude and tears of praise and just thankfulness. And like, Lord, but I also was expecting greatness.
you always do. You
I'm ready.
always
I can proudly say I am a receiver of the gifts that I've already sown.
already.
So
And when we talk, that's why I kept seeing you cannot suffer. You have given too much. And
yes,
before we end this broadcast, because we are over time, but I have to let people know what you did for me that I would never, ever forget. And then we're going to bring Zach back on. But what made you do that for me, Lavera?
when I see someone that has a good heart and they give them themselves so much too, and you provided a place for me to make room and a income for me and my one child at the time, because I just had Imani when I met you. That was my way of just telling you thank you, of trying to take care of you. Yeah.
Exactly what you did because I never forgot it. You must have had to leave work early to fix that kind of food.
Yes, when I saw the work that Faye puts in with all the I left, went to the grocery store. Matter of fact, I had already went to the grocery store the day before, and I was
You already
marinating.
knew you were going to
I
do
already
this.
knew I was gonna do it, so I was marinating steak and the shrimp and the broccoli and all the stuff, and so I left to go home and cook it, and then brought it back to
That
feed you, and it
and
was
she
on a
can cook,
regular.
y'all. She can cook. Now she's not just no any cook. She is a gourmet cooker. And I was so shocked. She made me sit down, stop working, and you need to sit down and eat. And I felt like I was at this major restaurant. And I never forgot that all the days of my life since then. It
Yeah,
was the most touching. See, people forget things, but they never forget how you
How
make
you
them
treat them.
feel.
Hmm.
How you make me feel. You make me feel so special. And I will never forget that for the rest of my life. Now we want to see what Zach gonna say to thank you. We're gonna sum up our broadcast and then we're gonna be out of here. We over time.
The Lord tells you in John 16:33, he said, I've told you these things that you might have peace. In
Hmm.
this world, you'll have trouble. You're going to have tribulation. But be of good cheer, for I've
Hmm.
overcome the world, right? So he's showing you, he's saying, are you going to trust me or are you going to trust your stuff or your degrees? Or you going to trust in chariots and you're going to trust in all that or your unemployment? Are you going, what you going to do, Sarah? Are you
Right.
going, can't, did I say it and I can't do it? Are you
Right.
going to trust that? So
Yes.
that's where that comes in, the trust in the Lord, right?
Hmm.
But he says too, if you give a prophet a cup of water, you
Uh-oh.
know wise lose a prophet's reward. If you cut him a piece of steak, you know
Woo!
wise lose a prophet's reward. If you give him a cup of coffee and a salmon croquette, like my mother did, I said, Mother, what'd you get $2 million to send us all to school? She said, Baby, I ain't never had no $2 million. And all of our educations combined, we've got people that have gone to Vanderbilt, Harvard, you name it, Yale. You know, our family have gone through all these Ivy League schools in a public school setting, and you just got to trust them, right? So I really gained a lot from you, and I took some notes, and I hope you understand that once you start investing, and we could take you to Wall Street and show you how to triple up on that money. So when you need that
Oh,
nest egg,
she gonna get it. I told
you
her get
already
your
know, right?
yeah, we talk all the time, and
There you
and
go.
I'm
So
gonna always make sure that she has knowledge of that. But
that's right.
Lavora got
Hey,
herself together, and I'm just so proud of you, Lavora. And I
Thank you.
hope that I see some of the stylists are on here. I know they receive. Carolyn, thank you for coming. I hope you receive because I told Carolyn, I say you remind me so much of Lavora. She saw me answering the phones and working so hard. She said, "We need to give you a spa day, a spa day." I said, "You remind me of my guest tomorrow." She is so caring, and it means so much when people can really, really mean it genuinely that
Yeah.
they want to give. And so, Lavora, thank you so much for coming,
You're
and
so
thank you
welcome.
all for joining. And
Thank
we
you for
hope to
having me.
you welcome. Hope to see you all again Sunday, same place, same time. Now we give the mic back to you guys.
all right.